Nope. Fall music scene.
On Stellar Radio.
I'm Jade Lester.
And I'm Ryan Daly. We're doing the fall music scene
on Stellar Radio.
Here's a little taste of what's to come in the show.
How do you get your music?
My job is to make sure that you guys have something fun to do.
I don't really think that's what we're looking for.
Oh.
Jim Morrison, I'm here to help you start a band. How's it going, guys?
I'm Jade Lester.
I'm Ryan Daly, and welcome to our episode of Stellar Radio.
Today we are doing the topic of fall music scene.
Yeah, now Jade, why fall music?
Well, first of all, because it's fall, and second of all, I think because we absolutely love music, the both of us. We love it, and we wanted to keep it local, right?
Yeah, like there's tons of music in London. Like it's honestly, I moved here last year, and the city is unreal for music.
Right here in Fanshawe College, too, I'd have to say.
Yeah,
there's
like
a ton of it.
Concerts every Friday. It is great, good to go.
So, keeping it in the topic of music, what is your favorite type of music, Ryan?
Well, for my favorite type of music, I'm one of those people who's an idiot and likes to say they like everything. But to me, I started with punk rock, and so I stick to punk rock. It's my go-to when people say what music I like, whether it's Descendants, Pennywise, NoFX, especially Blink-182. Punk rock has a special place in my heart.
Yep.
And how about you?
I feel like I'm going to say absolutely everything, too, and
You're
that's definitely, it's not a lie. I honestly love every single type of music, whether that is pop music. I love classical music. I think it's beautiful. I love punk music, too. I love rap music. But if I'm going to pick just one, I'm going to say it has to be country music.
Country music? Country
music. I'm a country girl. Come from the country, kind of grew up on it. And it makes you feel good. It feels like home, right? What would you say
your favorite country artist is?
Oh, I don't want to say it just because of his looks, but I really, really am a Luke Bryan girl.
I knew that was coming. Somehow I knew it. Don't ask me how, but typical girl answer. Just in love.
Absolutely.
In love with Luke Bryan for some reason.
He can sing too, and he's quite the performer. I know you like Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean. Oh man, jacked up Chevy. That is my jam.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been in a band?
I've never been in a band.
No?
Have you?
Yeah, I've jammed with a couple people, but I've always wondered what it would be like to, have a successful band, be on the radio and everything.
I don't know.
Do you remember that time we tried to start a band?
Oh, not this again.
I know, but the Jade Daly experience was pretty
an experience.
Good. It was so bored.
I know. What do you want to do?
I have no idea. I wish there was something we could do. Nirvana. Wait. Let's start a band.
Dude, do you want to start a band?
Yeah.
Let's start a band.
How would we do that?
I don't know.
I'll help you, children. What the hell was that?
Where did that voice come from?
Yes, it's me, Jim Morrison. I'm here to help you start a band.
Wow. What do we do first, Jim?
Well, children, the first thing you have to do is find someone to be in a band with you.
Man, do you want to be in a band with me?
You bet I do.
Let's do it.
All right. Right on, children. The next thing you need to do is learn how to play an instrument. I don't really think that's what we're looking for.
Oh.
I was thinking something like this.
Yeah, we're not going to do that either.
Oh. I don't know what you want to sound like. What do you think we should be then?
Man, you can't go wrong with a Canadian classic like Rush.
Rush is unreal, but I cannot play an instrument like Rush. You heard me on that cookie tray.
I did.
Well, I was thinking, like... We need something simple yet good. We need punk. We need to be like Blink-182.
Let's give her a go.
Okay, something like this.
Good job, children. Now that you can play an instrument, you can clearly write a song, right?
Hey, Daly, what rhymes with orange?
Nothing.
We're gonna have to scratch that out.
Good. Now you must dress as unappealing as possible so people will think you're cool.
Oh, it's Daly. I'm trying to, in the new album, go for the feel of like country meets rap meets reggae with a little EDM. You know what I mean?
Daly, we just booked our first gig.
Mint.
It's time to go now. This is Jim Morrison signing off and watching you hit the road on your way to be a band.
Alright, I made it. I'm off. Peace.
Oh, hey, Daly.
Jade, what are you doing?
Just listening to the radio.
Oh yeah, what's on right now?
Our song!
What? No way!
Yeah!
Are you kidding me?
We made it on the radio!
What? Check that out.
The Jade Daly Experience.
The Jade Daly Experience is on the radio. No way, yo, crank that tune, let's party.
Yeah!
Damn.
Trucks.
Big jacked up Chevy.
Is that you?
Who are you?
Are you Ryan Daly from the Jade Daly Experience?
That was a long time ago. Don't talk about that to me.
What happened to you, man?
Lost it all.
What happened?
Lost it all. Just haggard.
You had the whole world.
Girls will do that to you.
Cool.
It was all mine, and I let it go. I just... what is this? Oh.
Oh, God, no! Daly, control yourself!
The Jade Daly Experience reached their peak with their #1 hit, Horses, reaching #1 on the Billboard charts and the album Jacked Up Chevy going platinum. But where are they now?
Ugh, I hate that picture. Was that from the first or the third time I went to jail? It could be from that fight I had with the paparazzi in the pizza place in Saskatoon. Oh, or maybe from when I crashed my Ferrari into that stranger's garage and ran away from the cops. Anyway, I guess I kind of let the fame and fortune go to my head, and I lost all my money playing back alley Candy Crush. Next thing you know, I was living in someone's attic eating old pizza crusts, and don't even get me started on Daly. That beep! I want to beep his stupid face and beep on his beep!
Man, there was way better mugshots than that one. You know that saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Well, that tattoo of the album cover on my butt stayed forever. After our smash hit Horses off the album Jacked Up Chevy, we were rock stars, limos, girls, everything I ever wanted. And the thing was, everything gave it to me for free. I had all this money and didn't have to pay for anything. It was the life. Now here I am, a penniless washout with a tattoo on my butt. It all went downhill when Jade got addicted to that stupid Candy Crush game. It was all she ever cared about, non-stop, before shows, after shows, during shows. It was Candy Crush all the time. She wasn't even the same person. You ever hear about her crashing that Ferrari? Candy Crush. Brutal. Now I hear she's off singing songs on the corner trying to get her money together to get her next episode going. Gah.
Welcome back.
That's what happened when Daly and I tried to start a band, and as you can see, it didn't go very well. We had high hopes for it.
Let's never start a band again.
Can we agree on that right now?
Never start a band again.
Never again.
No, it was a good time though. You know, we had a #1 hit with Horses.
We did off of our Billboard chart.
Yeah.
#1 topper, Jacked Up Chevy.
pick it up. It's still on iTunes, and I am broke.
Yeah, we need money. We're desperate. Anyway, we're going to head to a break really quickly, but when we come back, we've still got lots and lots of great stuff for you. We have an interview with Tim Fraser, and he is the entertainment programmer that is right here at Fanshawe College. So we're keeping it local, aren't we, Daly?
Yeah, just stay tuned for this. Tim is a cool guy. He knows all about the local scene, where to check out in London, where you can find new music in London, local bands coming up. You're going to want to see this, so stick around.
We also are going to talk to some Fanshawe students and ask them some questions. And Daly and I are going to teach you some proper concert etiquette, aren't we?
Yep.
All right. And we'll be back right after this.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Cody here. I didn't see you there. And I'm listening to Kickin' Country on Fanshawe's Hotspot CFRL in the new state-of-the-art building here in M Building at Fanshawe College. Fanshawe's Hotspot CFRL is a student's #1 radio spot for news and entertainment, broadcasting through the halls of Fanshawe College and over your internet connection every night. CFRL is here to keep you updated at the state-of-the-art broadcasting center in Fanshawe's M Building, combining CFRL 106.9 The X and Stellar Radio. CFRL is the perfect way to start your day and end your night with shows such as you can listen to CFRL while drinking water. Or you could listen to it while in the halls. Or looking at pictures.
Or you can listen to CFRL while you're going to the bathroom.
Or you can listen to CFRL while you're doing homework.
No matter what you're doing, always make sure to listen to Fanshawe's Hotspot, CFRL.
Welcome back to Stellar Radio. I'm Jade Lester.
I'm Ryan Daly.
And Daly, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the fall music scene.
Why are we talking about that?
Well, because who doesn't like music? And it's fall, not to
Fall.
mention.
My favorite season.
No, London is a great city for music, so we're letting you know a little bit about the local spots, the local artists in London, and, you know, why you shouldn't start a band. I don't know if you missed that last spot with me and Jade, but why don't you tell them, Jade? I'm kind of...
Well, we tried to start a band if you missed it, and it didn't go very well. Daly, do you find that fall is a great time of year for people to release albums?
I find it is. Honestly, this sounds kind of greasy, but all the students are back in school, and they have that OSAP money, you know?
They
and
do.
They have that concert money.
They want us to go out and spend their money
And
on their
they're
albums.
I feel like they're coming right off the summer music festival, so people usually have seen their favorite bands live, and it's usually when the albums tend to come out as a fall release.
Definitely. And Daly, we had a great interview. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
We were lucky enough to sit down with Tim Fraser earlier this week. He is the entertainment programmer here at Fanshawe College. And what that means is basically a fancy word for this guy is basically a talent scout and books all the bands for the open mic nights and hip-hop Fridays and punk rock Saturdays and everything like that.
So Daly actually sat down with him. They got a great interview, and here it is right now.
Hey guys, this is Ryan here. I am joined with Tim, who is the entertainment programmer at Fanshawe College. How's it going, Tim?
I am fantastic, Ryan. How are you?
Not too bad. So, what exactly is it that an entertainment programmer does?
Basically, my job is to make sure that you guys have something fun to do outside of class, or if you want to skip class and go to. Not that I condone skipping class, but it's basically just to provide an outlet for you guys other than just school.
That sounds pretty mint. But so you get to book the bands as well that come and play at the Outback and around Fort Well.
Correct. All of the new music nights on Fridays. And then we do the Nooner series too, where we do singer-songwriters Thursdays at noon, stand-up comedy Tuesdays at noon, and then just all of the other events too, like trivia nights, open mic, sex toy bingo.
Sex toy bingo.
Yes.
Booking the bands, what kind of thought process goes into getting a band to come to school? What is it that you're looking for really when you're scouting? There's tons of artists on YouTube and everything all the time. What is it that you want to come to Fanshawe?
Talent. mainly, to be honest with you. It's also the cool thing about this job and the hard thing about this job is to be as objective as possible. I can't only book bands that I like because I don't have the same music taste as everybody. But you know, it's one of those things that you want to make sure that you're bringing in different things to hit a lot of people's tastes. But they do have to. There is a certain level of awesomeness that they do have to bring, as well.
Fair
but
enough.
Yeah. But at the same time, I like giving new bands a chance. I mean, it's called New Music Night for a reason. That's why you're not going to see. I'm trying to think of someone big. I don't know. You're not going to see like. There you go.
Night,
There's a chance we might get classified. You wouldn't see classified at a New Music Night. That would be like our Frost show. Whereas last Friday night we did have a hip hop night, and it was Lion Eyes Prime,
the nicest,
NGA, the nicest, and AFOS, right? So that's kind of, we try and hit those up and coming people so that in 5 years you can say, oh, I saw the nicest at the Outback Shack for free. Now it's $45 at the Bud Gardens to go see it.
So how do you go about finding the bands? Do you have a lot of bands contacting you, or are you browsing YouTube all the time?
It's a bit of both. I'm pretty much always on YouTube. I use Rdio as well, which is it's a basically online radio station. You know, it's a lot like Pandora. It's basically you can stream anything you want, and they've got an endless library of music. But no, I get people emailing me all the time. I have people coming into my office and dropping off CDs. I have people coming in dropping off, you know, download cards. I go to a lot of live music events on my free time as well. I go to Call the Office, the London Music Club, London Music Hall. There's a podcast in London called the London Indie Underground. Yeah. You know, Jimmy, like, if you guys don't know it, watch it. It's awesome. He just highlights London, Ontario artists. So him and I have a good thing going where he sends me people, and if I hear of someone who's looking for recordings or things like that, like we work together, it's a lot of just connections.
Speaking of London, you say you go to Call the Office and London Music Hall a lot. Is there, like, do you notice a specific scene that goes on in London? Is there, like, a really heavy hip-hop scene, or whether it's EDM? Like, what's popular in London right now, in your opinion?
I think there's a lot of different, there's always been pockets that people like. Yeah. I mean, there's, I work a lot with some singer-songwriters, and we'll do a show at the London Music Club. Like, there's a good friend of mine, Ken Yates, plug. He's really, really good, and he just did a show at the London Music Club, and we sold out. It was 200 people, but I wouldn't see those people at, say, Call the Office for a punk rock show that will pull out 200 people. You know, there's bands around town in, like, the hard rock scene, like, there's, Tandem Eagle, they're really good buddies of mine. Like, they're a really great band. There's Terror Hawk, who are a great band. Like the Baxters, you know, hard rock band. Yeah. And then there's like the punk scene as well. Like Wasted Potential is a really good band in London right now. The new Outcasts as well. The Mad Murdochs, who are kind of from London and Toronto. So there's a punk rock scene going on. I mean, we were almost at capacity for the hip hop show on the Outback Shack on Friday. So we had like 150 people out to see London hip hop as well. So, and then there's metal bands as well, like Searching for Satellites and Foxfight, and there's all these heavy bands. I'm not huge into the EDM scene as much as other people, so I don't go to raves per se. But I know that Block Party, which was a big EDM festival, you know, outside, and they had DJs come in. There's way more people there than there are at Call the Office. So I know that, you know, the kids really like the they love that dubsteppy stuff. Nothing against it if you like it. It's not my bag, but there is a scene for that as well.
Yeah, any up and coming bands that we should check out?
There's the Creekside Strays. That's kind of like a southern soul kind of blues rock. They're playing here on the 17th. With another kind of soul band called Marcellus Wallace. And then, who else do we have coming in? Like, we've got Searching for Satellites and Foxfight for our metal night. We're going to bring in a band from, I think they're from Guelph or something called Mandroid Echo Star. So we're doing like a metal night. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. It's going to be really good. But yeah, Creekside Strays. There's a lot of like the Gypsy Ghosts. They played our first New Music Night. Those guys are wicked. They've just got, you know, it's a lot of like percussion instruments and jazzy, like horns and everything like that. So there's pretty much, depending on your genre, there are a lot of bands.
What's the best and worst show you've ever been to?
Best show first, because I know that one pretty much off the top of my head. This is, again, going back a few years. I'm going to name a bunch of bands that a lot of people probably don't know. But there's a bar in London called Deviate. We're talking like 15 years ago. And the lineup for that night was Jersey, this punk band and Beretta, which aren't around anymore, Rise Against,
Oh, wow.
Death by Stereo. This was the order, too. So Jersey and Beretta, Rise Against, Death by Stereo, Catch-22, and AFI. All in one night for $5.
What?
Yeah, it was this tour that they used to do called Snow Jam, and there's 2 nights. So that was the one night, and then the next night was like Planet Smashers, Bigwig, Reset, who was Simple Plan before they became Simple Plan. Who else was on them? Like 10 Foot Pole. There's a lot of old punk. This was back when I was in high school, so like all the punk bands. But it was like 7 awesome bands, and the fact that I saw Rise Against in a club of 100 people.
Seeing as you're from London, how can people find out about shows outside of Fanshawe, like all the intimate shows going around the city?
Yeah, I know that Scene Magazine posts what's going on. Metro does that as well. Facebook is a really good one. There's I feel like I'm just doing a commercial for Jimmy in the London Indie Underground, but he does a radio show on CHRW every Friday between 3 and 6, and I think at about 5:30 he does concert listings for that weekend and the upcoming week. Okay. He's also got a website, and he posts shows on there, but they're around for sure. Scene Magazine, I know that they always keep a really good extensive list of all of the
awesome
events coming up.
All right, thanks a lot. That's all the questions I have. Thanks, Jim.
Hey, thank you.
Or Tim, sorry, not Jim.
Welcome back to Stellar Radio. I'm Jade Lester.
I'm Ryan Daly.
And that was our interview that we just had.
Yeah, just a big thanks to Tim. If you guys want to check Tim out, ask him any questions. Real cool, approachable guy. Talk to him about any upcoming shows around Fanshawe or London or new bands to check out. You can find his contact information on the FSU website. That's fsu.ca.
We're going to take another really, really quick break, but when we come back, we've got lots of great stuff still coming up for you. We're going to talk to some people from Fanshawe College all about the fall music scene.
Because what better way to find out about the music scene than to ask the people that actually go to the music scene? We're going to give you a little bit of a varied response on that one.
Once again, keeping it local right here in Fanshawe College. Daly and I are going to talk to you a little bit about what shows we've been to, what some of our favorite shows are, some of our worst experiences at shows.
As fun as concerts can be, they're a little brutal sometimes.
And we're still coming at you with some concert etiquette, and we'll be right back after this.
Hello, I'm Cody Hared. I didn't see you there. And I'm listening to Kickin' Country on Fanshawe's Hotspot CFRL in the new state-of-the-art building here in M Building at Fanshawe College. Fanshawe's Hotspot CFRL is a student's #1 radio spot for news and entertainment, broadcasting through the halls of Fanshawe College and over your internet connection every night. CFRL is here to keep you updated at the state-of-the-art broadcasting center in Fanshawe's M Building, combining CFRL 106.9 The X and Stellar Radio. CFRL is the perfect way to start your day and end your night with shows such as you can listen to CFRL while drinking water. Or you could listen to it while in the halls. Or looking at pictures.
Or you can listen to CFRL while you're going to the bathroom. Or you can listen to CFRL while you're doing homework.
No matter what you're doing, always make sure to listen to Fanshawe's Hotspot CFRL.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Stellar Radio. We are second-year radio broadcasting students. We are bringing you Stellar Radio. I'm Jade Lester.
I am Ryan Daly.
And what's our topic today, Ryan?
The topic today is the fall music scene in London, Ontario. Actually, just around wherever you want. Music is everywhere, right?
Absolutely. It feels like you can't go anywhere without music.
No, you can't. It's wherever you go. It's something that just really unifies people and brings them together. So it's something everyone really has in common.
So Daly and I, while talking about this certain topic, we kind of compiled our own little lists about certain shows that we've been to, right?
Yeah, and actually, the majority of mine, I'm looking at the list I made up, are in London, Ontario. This is before I even
Awesome.
moved here. Like, this city's unreal for music.
It is. So what are some of the shows that you've seen?
Well, just last Friday night, I was at Hip Hop Night at the Outback Shack at Fanshawe College, which was a free show. There was about 5 hip-hop local acts, all unknown. It was completely unreal. You got to meet the band members and just chill and talk with them, slam back a couple beers with them. It was a really cool experience. And then in London, Ontario as well, last year, seen Rise Against with Flogging Molly at the Budweiser Gardens, which was one of the most heaviest and intense punk rock shows I've ever been to. And then Norma Jeans is another great place in London to check out live music. Like, the bands I've seen there are like The Salads, Canada's Own The Salads, 3 Days Grace, Bleecker Ridge, Dry County, Mudmen, My Darkest Days. The bands that come through there are amazing. It's such a small venue, so intimate. Like, you're literally on stage with the band. These big bands come in, and you're on stage with them. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
How about you, Jade?
I feel like I should start things off. My very, very first show that I can remember, I went to Michigan to see Miss Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
B. Spears, and this was back in the day when it was like "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." So she was just coming out, and I don't know if you, she's not that innocent. And I don't know if you remember who Lou Bega is, who came out with Mambo Number 5.
Yes, I do.
He opened for her, and I still to this day. A funny story, I actually fell asleep at that concert. I don't know how that's physically possible, but I fell asleep, and then Mambo Number 5 came on, and I woke up, and I was like, yes,
Wait,
this is my favorite.
You fell asleep at a concert?
Yeah, it's possible.
No, it's not. It's a concert. How do you fall asleep?
Apparently, it wasn't loud enough. I'm not sure.
Oh, got to turn it up for Jade here.
But luckily, I've been to a lot of really big shows. I go all across Ontario. I've been all across Canada, and I do a lot of shows in the States. So I have been lucky enough to see the Rolling Stones. I saw them in Toronto when they did that huge fundraiser for SARS back in the day. And I remember they had Justin Timberlake there, and he got booed at that show, which I really didn't appreciate. And
Justin Timberlake got booed.
People were throwing cups at him and everything because, I mean, you have the Rolling Stones, and then Mick Jagger invites Justin Timberlake up, and everyone wasn't too happy about that.
Was he up there for just a song, or did he have
a couple
full set?
songs? And I think he left a little earlier than expected because of all the booing and everything. But
Really?
he put on a good show, and Mick Jagger was kind of upset. And the guys at Rolling Stones were like, "Hey, music is music. Just appreciate musicians, basically, right?" And then, like I was talking about, my heartthrob, Luke Bryan.
You've seen him live.
I did him and our boy Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean,
yeah.
nice.
And you know what song he sang?
Ride This Chevy.
Yes, he did. And it was great. I've seen Kings of Leon, which is absolutely one of my favorite bands. I saw them right at Bud Gardens right here in London. Just recently in the summertime, I saw Kendrick Lamar. That was my first rap show.
See, rap shows, I find they just have a completely different vibe.
I thought I'd feel really out of place, and I
Yeah.
actually didn't at all.
That hip-hop show I went to last weekend, I felt the same way. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm used to, like, moshing, just screwing around, throwing each
Exactly.
other around. But it's a really chill time, and everyone there is super friendly. And
It definitely is.
I had a blast. It's a completely different vibe, but it's still fun.
I think the artist I've seen the most is Keith Urban. I saw him at Bayfest, and I've seen him right here at Bud Gardens. And I'm actually getting to go again, which is really,
when's that
really
concert?
exciting. I believe in November. I saw Martina McBride. I've seen quite a few shows actually, and I think we both have the same problem. Like, we couldn't even think of all the shows we've seen because
listening to you, it's like, yeah, I've seen Blink-182 3 times. Every time they come to Canada, I am there.
you have to see them. There's those shows that you just they're
it's
so
like
good you have to see them
they're
again,
coming.
right?
I have to go see them, right? 'Cause
Exactly.
they don't come very often, so you have to go check them out.
Definitely.
But I remember one time Weezer opened for them. It was Blink-182, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy.
Yep.
And that was an incredible show, but Weezer really stole the show. As much as I love Blink and Fall Out Boy,
Yep.
Weezer comes out in these matching orange space jumpsuits. It's hard to describe, but it was hilarious, and they just started playing that Beverly Hills song. Such a
You
good
were right
show.
into it?
Right into it.
Awesome. Who would you say is your absolute favorite ever that you've ever seen?
I I loved that Weezer show, but I've seen Blink enough times to say they're my favorite. Blink-182 is the bomb. They are hilarious live. It's like a punk rock show and a stand-up comedy show all in one.
So you get a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. And
yeah, it's a really good blend. They've put a lot of work in their live show. They've been at it for almost 20 years, so it's...
Got to be getting good at it by now,
yeah,
eh?
Yeah. How about you?
My personal favorite, and I brought a little prop here. And this happens to be, I would say to this date, I was excited to go, and I just started to really become a fan of her. But after and during her concert, I literally was just like, it was the best thing I've ever seen visually. It's
really
my girl Katy Perry right here.
Katy Perry.
And honestly, like, she really can sing. I'm very, very picky, and I'm very critical of singers, especially female ones. And let me tell you, she's incredible live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's a really good musician too. She stood and she did her song, The One That Got Away, which is like a pop song, obviously, but she stood She stood there, she played the guitar and sang.
Wow.
And it literally, like,
Yeah,
it left me speechless. She's awesome. She played the flute, the costumes. Obviously, the visual was amazing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Now,
definitely my favorite.
I was downtown Toronto and actually ran into Katy Perry, and I couldn't believe how short she was.
That's a lie.
I don't know if you noticed when you were on stage, but she is seriously like up to here.
She's
She is
wonderful.
the most adorable girl I've ever seen in my life, but she is so short, and you can't tell from the music videos and her being on TV because she's usually got high heels on, or like the camera's kind of pointing up. But she is the shortest person I've ever met. It was just like Katy Perry.
You're so short.
Yeah,
it's a shocker, eh? I feel like I hate talking about it, but what's the worst show or shows that you've ever been to?
I hate it too because, well, for me especially, I was really pumped up to see this band. It was Billy Talent and Sum 41, and I've been a huge Sum 41 fan ever since I was like 9, and never had the chance to see them. But now they've gotten to that point where they're kind of washed up, and so I get there, and it's like they weren't really giving her, they were just kind of lazing around on stage, and I think the sound guy was drunk or something because the levels were just not coming through right. And I don't know if you guys have seen that meme of Derek Whibley around on the internet.
Oh, he looks like Bobo the Clown?
Yeah, he's looking a little rough. I don't know what he's into, but he's...
That divorce from Avril Lavigne
yeah,
kind of ruined him,
must have
eh?
hit him pretty hard.
Oh, no.
How about you, Jade?
I have a very disappointing story because I told you how much I love country music, right?
Yeah.
So when I was 12, my mom took me to see one of my idols, and that's Shania Twain. And I was excited, and the concert started, and her band was incredible, and everything was awesome. And then she opened her mouth, and I was like, that's not Shania Twain. And my mom kind of got that, like, uh-oh. She was terrible.
She's terrible.
She can't sing.
But she's huge. Like, she's a massive
I know, but
star.
I guess they must be able to do a lot of different stuff in the studio to just auto-tune, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, her band was incredible, and the show itself was really good, and it was just really disappointing.
But see, you know what I mean?
Cried.
Like, you go to see these bands, and you're just excited, and then they just don't live up to your expectations.
You hype yourself up. Yeah. I didn't think I slept the night before. It was so exciting.
What can you do, though, eh?
Yeah. Are there any upcoming shows that you're actually going to go see?
Coming up in London, I am going to be going to see the Bare Naked Ladies. I'm trying to think of the date right now. I think it's December 14th. I'm probably wrong, so don't quote me on that. You can look it up, though. Bare Naked Ladies.
Keeping it Canadian.
Yeah.
And they're coming to Bud Gardens?
They're coming to Bud Gardens. I've seen them before as well at the Norfolk County Fair. They played at a fair. It was unreal. Like, these guys
seem like easygoing guys.
Yeah, you know the Bare Naked Ladies, but then if you actually look into it, you realize, wow, these guys have had so many radio hits that I know, and it's just never clued into me.
Canadian classics, all of them, I think, too.
Yeah, well, they're beauties, man. Just say it any more Canadian, they're beauties. How about you, Jade? Where are you going?
I've got a couple lined up, actually. I'm going to go see the Dixie Chicks on November 10th, which is really, really exciting. They're coming to Bud Gardens as well.
You really do like your country, eh?
I do. I'm a country girl. Third time's a charm. Keith Urban, once again. And he puts on an absolutely incredible show, I have to say. He's I don't know if you know this, but his guitar work. Yeah. He does like 5-minute guitar solos, and you think you'd kind of be bored after like the first couple of minutes, but it's kind of you're just kind of like
Keith
not
Urban's
expecting
voice
it.
just kind of bugs me.
You don't like him?
I'm not sure why.
You don't like the cut of his jib?
The cut of his jib. No, I can't say I do.
And then in January, I'm going to see Hove. going to see
Oh,
Mr. Jay-Z, making my second rap
Jay-Z.
concert.
So you picked him instead of Kanye West.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have realized, but Kanye West and Jay-Z both recently put out the two biggest albums of the year, like at almost exactly the same time, and then set out on a world tour for them at just about the same time.
So they're kind of competing, but I picked Jay-Z because I like him a little more.
I think you made a good choice. You know,
Yeah.
Yeezus wasn't really...
not feeling it.
Not feeling the Yeezus.
What would be your absolute dream concert, Daly?
Well, it'd have to be a combination. Blink-182 would be in there for sure. One band I've always wanted to see live but never had the chance is New Found Glory.
Okay.
Because I've heard their shows are unreal. So it'd probably have to be New Found Glory, Blink-182, and maybe a little like Celtic punk in there, like some Dropkick Murphys or some Flogging Molly, just to kind of, have a nice break in between, right?
Yep.
How about you?
I've already seen her, and I want to go again because her new album drops off October 22nd. But Katy Perry, honestly, is my dream concert. It
was that good, eh?
It looked like a dream.
It
Was called the California Dreams Tour, so it literally and physically was a dream. All right, and now we have a little treat for you. We're talking about concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
We're actually going to
concert etiquette for you.
We're going to bring you a little list. Because
sometimes you just go to a concert and you're not sure what to do, or there's people who aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And it can ruin the whole vibe for everybody.
So here is the golden rules of going to concerts, aka concert etiquette.
First rule is moshing. At concerts of hard rock, punk, or heavy metal, a mosh pit will often form in front of the stage, in which slam dancing and the like may be performed, in an atmosphere of lively camaraderie and mutual assistance. Moshers who have fallen are to be helped up. That is a very clear point in that. If you see someone on the ground, help them up. No one wants to get stepped on.
No, definitely
Just
not.
help them up, and they'll get right back in there.
Yeah.
It avoids the risk of ripping their clothes, breaking their cell phones, and just pretty much stomping their face in.
Losing their keys and stuff, too.
Yeah.
It's
Are you a
probably
fan of
important.
mosh pits?
I've never been in a mosh pit, and
No?
I don't think I ever will or would like to be. So right here, this is moshing, eh?
Yep, that is a pit, and honestly, it can look a little intimidating, but it is so much fun. It just gets all the energy out of you, all the aggression.
All right, the next golden rule. Rule the second, crowd surfing. So crowd surfing, also known as body surfing, is the process in which a person is passed overhead from person to person, and this is often during a concert, and this transferring the person from one part of the venue to another, and the crowd surfer is passed above everyone's heads with everyone's hands supporting the person's weight. So at most concerts and festivals, the crowd surfer will be passed towards a barrier in front of the stage by the crowd, and sometimes they actually they get on stage, I've heard, but I'm sure they're kicked off pretty quickly after that. And here's an example of crowd surfing. And Daly, I'm wondering, have you yourself ever gone crowd surfing, sir?
I love crowd surfing.
You do?
I get freaked out when I go crowd surfing because sometimes I'm scared people are going to steal my wallet.
Oh, no.
You never really think of that till you're up in the air and you have no control over it. So I'm always like grabbing the back of my butt trying to make sure my wallet's
Make sure no
there.
one's getting a little cop in a
But
feel,
no, it's
eh?
fun, you know. It's actually, you feel like you're weightless. It's pretty unreal.
All right. The golden rules, rule the third, stage diving.
Stage diving is, well, if you can't figure out what it is, stage diving is the act of leaping from a concert stage onto the crowd. It is often the predecessor to crowd surfing. Initially seen as confrontational and extreme, stage diving has become a hardcore punk and thrash metal. And it's, yeah, I guess.
I feel like that's really dangerous.
Well, it is and it isn't. It just depends on if the people are going to catch you. It's good at those kind of shows where they're really intimate and the crowd's just crammed right in there because they have no choice but to catch you.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm guessing you wouldn't be one for stage diving.
I'm gonna say no. That's not exactly what I'm into.
No.
All right.
Well, stage diving for me is something I like to do, but sometimes you can't get on the stage anymore, and you just have to get someone to help pick you up and lift you up in the middle of the crowd. Still have a bit of fun there. But remember, if you go stage diving, check your wallet after.
I might be missing.
Yeah.
So next we have rule the fourth, headbanging.
Head banging.
You know what? I'm actually a fan of head banging. I think it's fun. So head banging literally is violently shaking the head in time with the music, and most commonly in the rock, punk, and heavy metal music genres. But sometimes I just head bang for fun because you want to rock out. You want a little air guitar.
Why not, right?
Why not? But I've actually injured myself. Woken up the next morning after a show and been like, I think I went a little,
I've had that feeling
too
before
hard.
where you wake up in the morning and the back of your neck is just stiff.
So sore.
Like,
and
look at this guy.
here is what we mean by head banging. This guy has
likes to
beautiful
headbang.
hair, so it probably he's looks like quite the headbanger.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the whole reason rockers grow their hair out is so when they headbang, they get that wavy feeling. I don't know. I've never had long hair like that, but I don't know. It seems kind of fun.
It does, certainly does. All right. So I found some interesting rules, some jazz show etiquette. So jazz music is performed in many different settings, obviously, and different venues throughout the world. So when jazz is performed in public places, such as outdoor jazz festivals and indoor jazz clubs, quiet conversation is usually considered acceptable. So I guess that's okay. When attending a jazz performance in an indoor concert setting, Western classical concert etiquette is expected with one exception. It's considered well-mannered to applaud.
Yeah, it's not really one of those settings where you want to be screaming around and pushing people around to some jazz flute. You know, you can't really mosh to jazz music, but
and I don't think so. I think we're a little foreign to jazz etiquette.
See, when people think
it's nice to know.
It's good to throw that in there because when people think of concerts, they tend to think of rock shows or maybe an underground like hip hop show where things can get really intense. But they forget there's tons of musical genres out there.
And do you know who this fine gentleman is?
Who is that fine young gentleman?
That's Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
It certainly is a jazz legend himself. And then here's one about blues shows. So rule the 6th, blues show etiquette. So apparently it's considered polite to whistle at blues concerts, especially in America. I didn't know that, did you?
No. And I'm kind of confused on how that would work.
I think you literally are just, instead of clapping, you're just like, give him one of those. Can you whistle, Daly? And do you recognize this fine blues icon?
Who is that young, fine blues icon?
That's Mr. Ray Charles. Can't go wrong with Ray. All right.
And we're back.
We're back on Stellar Radio.
So
I'm Jade and Daly.
Yes. Coming up after the break, we're going to be seeing from some streeters, telling us what their kind of their favorite kind of music is, where they go for live shows, how they get their music, and what they hate about concerts. You know, this goes back to playing with the concert etiquette.
Yeah, it does.
What people do at concerts to drive them nuts.
All right, and we'll be back right after this.
106.9 The X.
This is The X, and I'm Alana.
And I'm RA.
The X is a part of the Broadcast Center at Fanshawe College, a state-of-the-art facility that is the center of radio broadcasting and the broadcast journalism program. What does that mean?
Well, the X is an building, and it plays hip-hop and R&B, but it also has diverse programming like the Great White Way, Reggae Vibes, keeping things moving here at the X.
Now, we can't hear The X in M Building over CFRL, so we're coming to you to see what you think about 106.9 The X.
What do you know about 106.9 The X?
I don't know anything about 106.9 The X.
Do you listen to 106.9 The X?
Always.
How do you feel about The X?
It's good. I really enjoy it. I like their ecstasy hour.
Suitman, do you listen to 106.9 The X?
Yes.
106.9 on the way in to work in the mornings, and I'm always listening to see if I recognize students' voices, and the music's really good. It's always current. Good to hear.
Do you listen to 106.9 The X?
I listen to it sometimes when I'm driving.
Do you listen to 106.9 The X?
Yeah, that's the Fanshawe station.
Is there any program that you like on it?
The Ecstasy Hour.
There's really something for everyone on 106.9 The X.
Always giving us everything that we need here in London. That's what United Press likes about the X.
106.9 is one of the most favorite station in our taxi cabs, and I like it too, of course. It is very alive, it broadcasts the lovely music and party kind type of music, and I appreciate the job you guys do. Here you go.
The X. Welcome back to Stellar Radio. I'm Jade
guys.
Lester.
I'm Ryan Daly.
We're talking to you about the fall music scene. So we've covered a lot in our show already. We had an awesome interview with Tim Frazier, and we just told you guys about proper concert etiquette, right?
Don't forget about the Jay Daly experience.
Oh, you know what? I kind of want to forget about that. I'm not going to lie. That's back when Daly and I tried to start a band, and it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, she didn't go the way she was supposed to go.
So Daly and I were talking, and we kind of had the issue of ticket prices, eh?
Yeah, because I go to a lot of smaller shows, or I like to go to a lot of smaller shows that are a really club intimate setting, and then I see these bands years later, and at one point I was paying $5-10 to go see their show, and now they want me to pay $95 to stand like 100 yards away from them, and it blows my mind.
I think, for example, the Rolling Stones obviously just had another big tour, and I was looking for seats, and well, I think 2 shows sold out literally in like 2 seconds. All the tickets were gone, and then you know how some buyers just buy a whole group of tickets and sell them on like a second party site or whatever. $600, and they weren't even floor seats.
No.
These are like second and third bowl.
That's like
just to sit there and get a nosebleed, just to see a bunch of old time rockers.
Well, do you remember the Pearl Jam show at the Bud Gardens?
Yes, I
do.
That
sold out in 4 minutes.
And I have to say, I know someone personally, a family member who was so desperate to see Pearl Jam. I think she stayed up a couple really, really late nights on some second party sites, desperately looking for tickets, and was willing to spend,
really
literally willing to spend a whole ton of money, but she got to go, so
well, even
she was happy.
Blink-182, they had a tour about, oh god, it was probably 10 years ago now, but it was called the Dollar Bill Tour, and all the tickets were $1.
That's
and
incredible.
Went to charity.
Yep.
Now, last time I seen them, floor seats at the Molson Amphitheater were $400.
That's a little pricey, especially for students.
And it was still sold out.
But you know who's actually the king of giving away really, really reasonable concert tickets, and this is a gentleman I once again have seen 3 times, and he never ever disappoints. I can't stress how incredible this guy is. Kid Rock.
Kid Rock is the man.
He really
is. My parents go every year to Detroit to see Kid Rock perform. Every year. They've gone 10 years now. And the reason being is he's fair with his ticket prices. He does
really
this thing where they're all $20, and he does this, it's almost like a gamble. He picks 20 of the tickets in the back row and gives them front row seats.
That's incredible.
I was listening to a podcast with him, and he said he got sick of seeing in the very front row of his shows the old guy with the really hot girlfriend. You know what I mean? The guy that makes a ton of money and just bought the tickets
buys
for
up
the girl.
front row tickets.
And all his real fans are out there in the back and can't even come close to the stage. So he's giving them a bit of a chance. You know, he raffles off the set amount of tickets every show. It's just kind of a nice way to give back to everybody.
It is. You can tell he really, really loves his fans, especially. He's so about Detroit. That's all you hear. And I think he literally did like a whole entire week of shows that sold out.
Yeah.
Like in Detroit, just because his tickets were so reasonable, and he's got so many fans that want to come.
Why should you pay $600 to go see a concert?
Exactly.
Spend $600 on 3 hours. It just does not make sense to me.
Pretty pricey, and not everybody obviously can afford that. So Daly and I went on location all around Fanshawe College, and we were asking students, what kind of questions did we ask them, Daly?
We asked them what their favorite kind of music was, or what their favorite band was. We asked them where they like to go to check out local music. We asked them where they get their music,
right?
Because that's kind of iffy conversation nowadays. It is. And what kind of stuff bugs them at concerts. Just like we just went through that whole debacle
we
about
certainly did.
Prices. You know, you got to pay for your beer, you got to pay for your concert T-shirts.
Yeah.
And then to end the day off, you have to pay $400 for a ticket. Sorry, that stuff just really bugs me.
Oh yeah, grinds your gears, eh?
Yeah,
well,
grinds my gears.
Here's what Fanshawe College had to say.
What kind of music are you into? Folk, rock, everything basically.
What kind of music are you into?
Everything. Everything.
Everything, fair enough.
It's a little bit of everything. I'm 26, so like back when I was a teenager, you know, emo and screamo and that kind of stuff was popular, so I was into that. But I kind of grew up with indie music. The more, you know, well, what was called indie music then? I don't even know how you'd refer to it now.
I think it's a little different. It's probably come a long way.
Yeah, I think it has.
Mostly folk. And like a slight bit of older, like classic folk and sort of psychedelic rock.
Listen to everything, every kind of music.
Absolutely everything. Every genre's cool.
Yeah, pretty much, except for like heavy metal, screamo.
Not into that kind of stuff?
No, I'm not. I can't say I am.
What kind of music are you into?
Hip hop and rap.
Pop and rap, fair enough. Off the top of your head, who's your favorite artist?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
A little known modern folk musician named Kevin Devine. But besides that, it's a toss-up between the Beatles and Pink Floyd.
Good choices there, definitely.
Seether.
Eminem.
Right now I'm listening to the Fleet Foxes a lot. Okay. They're very interesting. They're kind of like a folk kind of droop. I don't know how you describe them beyond that. The Arcade Fire is probably my all-time favorite, though.
Ooh, I don't really know, to be honest.
Don't know? No one comes to mind?
No.
You like everything, right? So you can't just put it down to just one person?
No.
Just to see live?
Downswebster.
I haven't seen anybody live.
Headley. Oh.
I actually was lucky enough to go see Roger Waters of Pink Floyd do the Wall live in Quebec City. Probably the best show I'll ever see in my life.
I've heard it was incredible.
Yeah, I cried a couple times. No, it was amazing.
No shame in admitting that, definitely. That's a show I'd kill to see. The best artist to see live or that you have seen live?
I've been out of the concert scene for a while, probably 4 or 5 years. Honestly, the best show that I've ever seen live was My Chemical Romance back in the day.
Wow.
Because you'd think like, all right, that's a emo screamo band, whatever. But the front man had amazing presence. I've never experienced anything like that.
It'd probably be a cool looking show too. They seem very kind of theatrical from their music videos and stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, they have a really theatrical aesthetic for sure.
I think that gives a whole nother element. Definitely gives you something to look at rather than just listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
Does a band count?
Yeah.
Mariana Trench.
I went and seen Pearl Jam, and they were pretty awesome. It was a really good show.
A show at Bud Gardens?
Yeah, they sounded exactly like they did on radio, CD, so it was really
Good
good.
spot in London to check out live music.
The John Labatt Center? I don't know where that
It's
is.
the Bud Gardens now.
Okay, yeah, that.
I've only been in the country for a little while, so I haven't seen anything. But I'm seeing Matt Good at the end of the month, so that should.
I used to go to the old APK, the Alexander P. Keaton, but that's gone under and moved a couple times since then. So I don't know, like the music club.
Yeah. Do you know any local spots right here in London to go see live music?
I know, like Cowboys, they do performances. I've never been, but I heard they're really good, so.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, I'm new here. I actually haven't gone out to see too much. Although I've been to the open mic nights at Carrie's.
You have? And did you enjoy that?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Seen any shows around Fanshawe College?
I went to the Mother show. I love Mother. They were actually incredible. I couldn't believe that Fanshawe actually got them for the Frosh.
We get some good stuff here, definitely.
Great spot in London to see local music, live music. Bud Gardens.
And how do you get your music?
Right now I'm doing everything as legally as possible, unlike my teenage and early 20s. So I'm mostly just, iTunes, or I actually still buy physical CDs because I was born in the 80s.
Well, that's good to do. I mean, you're supporting the artists and stuff, right, instead of just pirating it or anything.
Exactly, and I do enjoy, there's something about having a physical copy that, I don't know.
It's nice to just have, in case anybody wants to burn a copy or anything, right?
Yeah, that too.
I pay for some. I download most of it. It's not. Well, I write my own music, so I justify it in that I wouldn't mind if people were downloading my music for free.
Because you just want it to be heard?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But then I still, my conscience is troubled a little bit by it, but I download most of my music. So.
I just go to YouTube. I used to download a lot of music, but too many viruses.
Okay, not an iTunes fan or anything?
No, I don't really like to pay for my music.
Hey, honestly.
It makes you mad at concerts.
When people push.
Fair enough. The crowds can be brutal.
Is there anything that makes you really, really mad that happens at concerts?
I was really upset when there was kind of a transition when I was a teenager from people actually moshing and dancing at concerts to standing around and staring at the band, and that really annoyed me.
So you like when people are moshing and jumping around and everything, rather than people just standing there kind of,
Moshing is maybe too harsh a word to use because that implies some pretty heavy violence, but yeah, I like dancing. I like looking like an idiot at concerts because where else do you ever get a chance to do that?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I don't club, so that's the only other option, but that's kind of a different thing entirely.
You mad at concerts?
Not being able to see.
Hey, and just one more question. Can you name anything that makes you mad that people do at concerts?
Well, actually, we couldn't get back into the Mother show. We left briefly, and then they told us we had to buy another ticket to get back in. They didn't tell us we couldn't leave, so we missed most of the show. That was really frustrating.
That is frustrating. Well, thank you for answering our question. Anything that you can name that makes you really mad about concerts that people would do there?
I guess when I was trying to record a few videos, a couple people got a little feisty about like the Flash, but other than that, no, nothing really. All right, thank.
Oh, hey, we're still in Stellar.
Guys, sorry about that.
Anyway, that's our Stellar show for today. I hope you guys really, really, really enjoyed it. We're talking about the fall music scene. I hope you loved every minute of it because I enjoyed myself.
I did too. Music is always fun to talk about. I want to thank Tim Frazier for that awesome interview. I want to thank all the streeters, all the very awesome streeters that helped us out. I want to thank Jim Morrison for helping us to start our band.
Oh, Jim, he guided us and then he let us fall though.
Yeah, Jim fell. So.
Oh, so sad. Anyway, make sure to tune in next Friday because Jax and Cody are going to bring you a great show. They're going to be talking about how to study for midterms because we all need to know how to do that, right?
Yeah, midterms can suck. Next Friday, 4 o'clock. Hope to see you then.
All right. See you later, guys.